So this question is in response to one of the videos I posted recently about why talk therapy often re-triggers you over and over again unnecessarily. Okay, so I want to share a few different things and I'll give you some examples of how you can actually fast track your emotional healing, either by yourself or with a practitioner, and the benefits of both of those. Okay, so the first thing, I'm going to just use an analogy. So let's just say, for example, there's a really large tree that you need to cut down. Maybe it's in your yard and it's obstructing the power lines or something like that. Okay. Large, really thick, very strong tree. You need to cut it down. What tool are you going to use to cut it down? Are you going to use an axe? Are you going to use a handsaw? Or are you going to use a chainsaw? What are the benefits of each? Now, if you use an axe or a handsaw, you can get the job done. But how long is it going to take to get the job done? When people go to talk therapy, it's often similar to that in that you can still get the job done, although sometimes people get really frustrated and they actually quit. Either they just put the handsaw down and like I'm just not even going to cut this tree down because it's so exhausting. It's taking too much time and energy. Okay, how do you cut it down more efficiently? What is an example of how you can fast track your emotional healing with a power tool, similar to cutting a tree down with a chainsaw? Okay, so a few different things I'm going to mention, and there's far more, but I'm going to mention a few things. The first thing, if you're looking for a tool that you can use on your own to help resolve emotions, I highly recommend going to my stand store. There's a link in the description. Clicking on Pulse Point Stress Tool. I think it's also labeled my number one stress tool. Download that, it's free. Download that. It's a few minutes to explain how to use the stress tool. That helps to resolve emotions physiologically, helps to extinguish the fires, so to speak, the triggers that you keep getting triggered by something. Those are unresolved emotions, and they keep getting activated physiologically when they're still active. You can deactivate them by having a tool in your toolbox to deactivate that. So the Pulse Point and Stress tool is a really great self-help tool to do that. There are a lot of other self-help tools. If you want to learn more, leave a comment below and I can do a separate video on that. The second thing I want to touch on is, when is it appropriate then to actually work with a practitioner? Why and when would you do that? And I'm talking about working with a practitioner that uses power tools, okay? Like a chainsaw for the tree. And what are some of those power tools called? Let me touch on that for just a moment. So some of those power tools, and again, there's far more power tools out there than I'm going to cover in this video today. One of them is the Feel Better Fast technique. What does it do? It helps to change the physiology of your emotions. What does that mean? It neutralizes them so triggers are no longer hindering you, taking up space in your mind and your body, and preventing you from doing what you want to do or not doing what you don't want to do. Did I say that right? Basically preventing you from doing the opposite of what you want to do. Okay? So it's going to free you to do what you want to do, show up in the world how you want to show up, and give you some peace in your mind and your heart. Okay? Feel better fast technique. Brain spotting is another one that I use with my clients. Brain spotting, it works on the same it works the same way, but in a different it gets you the result in a different way. What does it do? It helps to rewire your brain by working on the subcortical part of your brain. In other words, the deeper part of your brain that actually can process emotions without talking about them, changing them on a deep part. So you're actually changing neural pathways. When you change neural pathways in your brain, that's where the magic is. Okay, so working with a practitioner that is trained and certified in brain spotting or the Feel Better Fast technique. NeuroEmotional Technique is another great one. That one can only be done in person though, which is sometimes a downfall if you can't find a practitioner in your area. But the Feel Better Fast technique and brain spotting, I use that virtually with my clients all around the world. Really, really great tools. Um, it's important to have tools in your toolbox to help you resolve things on your own. It is also at times helpful to work with a practitioner. Now, why would you work with a practitioner who has these power tools? If you have a power tool on your own, Why is it helpful in some cases to work with a practitioner that has these power tools that can help you go deeper? That's the key right there. They can help you go deeper faster. Why? Why is that? It's called attunement. When a clinician or a practitioner or a coach or a healer, any type of practitioner, any wellness practitioner that you're working with, one of the things that is the most powerful thing to allow you to go deeper in your emotional healing is something called attunement. What is attunement? Attunement is it is basically someone who can hold space for you, be completely present with you while you are using a power tool to heal emotions. We can do like I said, we can do these things on our own, but there's something more profound and deeper. Oftentimes, we can even go deeper in our healing when we're working with someone that is holding that safe space. They're completely present. What does that mean? They're not thinking about their grocery list. They're not thinking about their to-do list. They are really present with you. There's an environment that nurtures you to go deeper. I myself work with practitioners occasionally to provide that environment for me to go deeper. I have a lot of tools in my toolbox and I use them and they are great. Sometimes, however, it is helpful for even me as a wellness practitioner to go deeper in my own healing by being held in a space, in a nurturing environment with another healer that is fully present with me. That's called attunement. It is the number one predictor of your positive success and outcome in any kind of healing environment. You go to a doctor, two different doctors, one of them has really good bedside manners. It's a whole different feel than going to a highly skilled doctor who has horrible bedside manners, right? You feel taken care of. There's something that happens at the heart level when someone is attuned to you. So I hope that answers some. Again, this video is already at 7 minutes long. Um, I can go deeper and explain more on any of these topics if you have any more questions, but I hope that starts to at least skim the surface in answering your questions.